Good morning, children. I hope you all might be safe at your homes. It was really nice to hear you people after such a long time, and you might have enjoyed the online doubt clearing classes. I also enjoyed with you a lot as I got to listen so many. I got to listen to you people after so many days, especially Astha, Shweta, Shubhangi, Aman, Satyam, Saurav. Okay, so everybody was answering so well except few students. So it's a request from you people that those who were unable to answer the questions, please go through the videos and read the lessons carefully. Okay. So today I am here with your next poem, that is The Snake Trying. Okay, so The Snake Trying is a poem which is composed by W. Ross. Okay, so when we think of or when we hear of snake, so what do we think? We think that snakes are always poisonous, they are harmful, okay, they are fearsome and symbol of death. But children, it's not that. Okay, it's not that. Why? Because they are also the creatures created by God, and let me tell you that all the snakes are not dangerous. None of the creatures are dangerous until they are, they sense any danger from humans. Similarly, snakes are also not dangerous until they sense any danger, any kind of danger from humans. Just like when we see snake, any snake, we start running, okay, in order to protect ourselves, to save ourselves. In the same manner, the snakes, after getting spotted by humans, they also start hiding themselves. Why? Because they also fear human. Okay, they also have that kind of fear in them of getting killed by the humans, and they attack. We say that snakes bite. Why do they bite? They don't have that biting tendency, but they attack only to defend themselves from humans. And some snakes are also harmless, and they are not poisonous. Okay, so in this poem, The Snake Trying by W. Ross, okay, here the snake trying, as we can make out from the title, that the snake in this poem is trying to protect itself or defend itself, okay, protect itself from being killed. Here the snake is itself a victim. So let us see this here. As you can see that the poet does not find all the snakes fearsome and poisonous. He finds beauty in them. In this poem, the poet describes how a snake tries to escape from a stroke, escape from getting being hit. Okay, he wishes that the snake does not get hurt and reaches his destination safely. Now, what happened, that a small green snake was lying on the sand, and when someone noticed it, it was a harmless snake. Someone saw it and ran after it with a stick. What do? We also do the same thing. When we see any snake, we start screaming, and then we start looking for a stick or any kind of attacking object. Okay, the snake here also, what happens, when the snake was lying on the sand until it was spotted by a human, and then it was being chased. It was being chased by someone with a stick, and then what happened, that it ran, and after that it glided away through the water, and it finally vanished in the ripples among the green slim reeds. Ripples, what are ripples, children? Small waves on the surface of the water. जैसे हम कोई भी स्टोन फेंकते हैं पानी में, पॉन्ड में, तो आप देखते हो ना राउंड सी बन जाती है, तो दोज आर व्हाट, दोज आर रिपल्स. ओके, और रीड्स, व्हाट आर रीड्स नाउ? रीड्स क्या क्या होते हैं? रीड्स जो प्लांट्स, वाटर में ग्रो होते हैं, मार्शी प्लांट्स, ओके, तो उनको क्या बोलते हैं हम? रीड्स बोलते हैं. वी कॉल देम एज रीड्स. ओके, सो लेट अस so the poem consists of 3 stanza. Okay, as you can see from here to here, this is the first stanza, then again from here to here, this is the second stanza, and the last stanza along we have till reads. Okay, so as you can clearly see in the poem that there are 3 stanzas in the poem, and so we shall read each stanza one by one and try to understand the underlying meaning of the stanzas. Okay, so let's start, children. Now, the snake trying to escape the pursuing stick with sudden curvings of thin long body, how beautiful and graceful are his shapes. Okay, so here the poet is saying, so in the first stanza the poet is trying to the poet is saying that the snake is trying to save himself from a stick which is following him. Okay, so the snake is being chased by the stick is not following, but a human, a person is following a snake. Pursuing means to follow. So the snake is being chased by a human with a stick. A human is chasing. Why is human chasing the snake? To kill him, and the snake is moving very fast to save himself from being killed. Okay, the poet says that the snake has beautiful, graceful shapes. As you can see in this line, how beautiful and graceful are his shapes. Okay, so the poet is just trying to say that the snake looks very beautiful and graceful. The poet is mesmerized to see the zigzag movement of the snake. Clear? Now let's come to the second stanza. He glides through the water away from the stroke. Oh, let him go over the water into the reeds to hide. Without hurt, small and green, he is harmless even to children. So, here in the second stanza, the poet is saying that the poet is just requesting, making a request to whom? To the human, and to human who is holding a stick in his hand to kill the snake. So, what is the requesting? That, oh, let him go. Whom? So, he is just requesting the human to let go the snake. Okay. So, let the snake go and hide into the reeds. So, I have already told you the meaning of reeds. Reeds is the what are reeds, children? The plants which grow in water. Okay. The poet is trying to convince the human that the snake cannot cause any harm even to children. This shows that the snake is harmless. Okay. Now, let us come to the third stanza of the poem. Along the sand he lay until observed and chased away, and now he vanishes in the ripples among the green slim reeds. So, here in the last stanza the poet is saying that the snake lays on the sand peacefully, okay, until he is spotted by some human. Now, after he is spotted, what does he do? He is chased away by, okay, he is chased away by whom? By human, and the snake, in order to save himself, what does he do? He disappears in the ripples. Ripples, I already told you, ripples are the small waves created on the surface of the water. So, he disappears in the ripples among the green slim reeds. So, I already told you the meaning of reeds, plants that grow in water. Okay, so this was all about the poem. So, as you can see, the poem is written in a very simple language. So, let us come to the poetic device. So, by knowing the meaning of the poem, we come to a conclusion that the snake in the poem is not harmful, but it is harmless, and it itself is a victim, as it is being chased by a person with a stick. Okay, now let's see what are the poetic devices used in this poem. So as first of all, what do? We just see the rhyme scheme first of all. The snake trying, stick, thin, beautiful, shapes, away, go, water, hide, green, children, stand, observed, now, ripples, reeds. So according to me, I cannot spot any rhyming word at the last of each line of the stanza. So children, we do not have any rhyme scheme in any of the lines. Okay, so we do not have any rhyme scheme in this poem. So when there is no rhyme scheme in a poem, then the poem is in free verse. तब हमारा poem जो है वो free verse में होता है. This is the point that you should note it down, that whenever there is no rhyme scheme in a poem, that means the poem is in free verse. Okay. Now let's move to the second poetic device, that is personification. As you can see in the poem, that the poet has used or addressed snake as he. He glides. Okay, his shapes. He, his, he is harmless. Okay, he lay, he vanishes. So you can see that the poet has used he for snake. So whenever we address any living object, any animal, bird or any non-living object with a person, then what do we call? What do we call that poetic device? That poetic device is termed as personification. जब भी हम कोई किसी जानवर या फिर बर्ड के नेम, बर्ड को हम कोई भी ह्यूमन की तरह ट्रीट करते हैं या ह्यूमन की तरह एड्रेस करते हैं, या फिर कोई भी नॉन लिविंग थिंग को हम ह्यूमन की तरह एड्रेस करते हैं, तो हम क्या बोलते हैं? कौन सा पोएटिक डिवाइस यूज़ कर रहे हैं उस टाइम? हम पर्सोनिफिकेशन यूज़ करते हैं उस टाइम. वी कॉल दैट पोएटिक डिवाइस एज पर्सोनिफिकेशन. ओके, person like. Understood? So the second poetic device is personification. So here snake has been personified as a human. Understood? Now let's come to the third poetic device, that is alliteration. Now I already told you that when the consonant sound is repeated again and again, okay, in the same or this consecutive line, then that poetic device is termed as alliteration. So as you can see that he harmless, okay, he harmless, H is being repeated over here. So which poetic device is it? Which poetic device is it, children? It is alliteration. Okay, here again you can see. So let's see, start from the beginning of the poem. The snake trying to escape the pursuing stick, with sudden curvings of thin long body, how beautiful and graceful are his shapes. He glides through the water away from the stroke. Oh, let him go over the water into the reeds to hide without hurt. Again, hide, hurt. So in this we have this in the same line. So this is again an example of alliteration. So we have two examples of alliteration. Okay, first one is hide, hurt, H. Then second we have he harmless, H. Okay, so there are two examples of alliteration in this poem. Now let's move to the third poetic device, that is first one we had no rhyme scheme, second we had personification, third alliteration. I already told you, discussed an example of alliteration right now. Fourth, what is transferred epithet? Now the snake trying to escape the pursuing stick. Now pursuing stick is an example of transferred epithet. Now how it is an example of transferred epithet, children? So the stick is not pursuing the snake. ओके, स्टिक जो है वो स्नेक को परस्यू नहीं कर रहा, स्टिक कैसे परस्यू करेगा, स्टिक कैसे फॉलो करेगा, वो तो पर्सन फॉलो करता है ना, पर्सन फॉलोज. ओके, सो हु इज फॉलोइंग चिल्ड्रन, द human is following instead of saying a human following the snake with a stick, the poet has used pursuing with stick. So a transfer has taken place. Okay, so this is an example of transferred epithet. So I hope the poem, the meaning or explanation of the poem as well as the poetic device is clear to you. So go through this poem once again, okay, and try to understand the poetic device, try to understand the meaning, as the poem is written in a very simple language. It's a very simple poem and easy to understand at the same time. Okay, so till then, keep studying, keep eating healthy food, and use sanitizers. If you're stepping out of your homes, please use mask. Then also take care of social distancing, and take care of your parents, take care of your siblings, and take care of yourself too. Love yourself. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.